Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to have a lot of formalities. There are a couple speeches. They're not going to be very formal. But we've got a lot of people joining us this evening from the university, and I wanted to take an opportunity just to introduce them to you. I've got them in alphabetical order, which is not necessarily order of where they are in the hierarchy, but I hope I get everybody. Bob Boudreau. Bob, where are you? Bob is our Assistant Vice President Academic. Good to have you with us, Bob. Debbie Bullock runs my life. Debbie, give her a hand. Debbie would have been in contact with many of you as we worked on this symposium. Debbie, I want to thank you for everything you did to make this a wonderful success. Mr. Cooney, Bob Cooney, our photographer. Bob. Yeah. Dennis Fitzpatrick, our Vice President Research. Dennis. I hope you know this university has really grown in its research output over the last 10 years. Dennis, 600% increase. We're number one in NSERC funding on a per capita basis. Dennis was very successful getting the Polaris chair in neurobiology this year. That's a $20 million chair. Dennis and Andy have both worked on the Prentice chair. Dennis, you've done a fine job. He leaves office in 2 weeks. Give him another applause. And Andy Haken, my partner in crime. Andy. Yes, sir. Andy's the Vice President Academic. He's a long-time server in the U of L. He's a chemist. That's okay. We heard some chemistry today, didn't we, actually? So, but Andy, thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Where am I? Tanya Jacobson Goodluck. Tanya, our Head of Communications. Come on, Tanya, stand up. So Tanya had a lot to do with the design of the webpage and the program and so on. Rita Law. Rita, please. Now, Rita Law is the Director of Governance, and she's the Executive Secretary to the Board and the Executive Assistant to the President. So between Rita and Debbie and Elsa, I have no chance, you know? But I don't have to sign anything either. They just say, sign here. Rita, wonderful to have you here this evening. Thank you for coming. Chris Magnuson, our Associate VP Academic. Chris. Now, many of you will know by reputation our ground squirrel expert here, Gail Michener. Thank you for coming, Gail. Gail, of course, has had an extremely distinguished career working on ground squirrel ecology and mating behavior. She also won the Brown Teaching Award from the Animal Behavior Society a few years ago. Gail, congratulations and thank you for being here. Chris Niggle, our Dean of Arts and Science. Sergio Pellis, Professor of Psychology. Serge. And Ian Wishaw. Where are you, IQW? Yeah, Ian Wishaw. Yeah. His initials really are IQ. And they are appropriate. I have to tell you, Ian came to this university 41 years ago, a while back, when the university was just founded, and the founding fathers, they were all men, saw the University of Lethbridge as being strictly a teaching institution. And Ian came here, very well trained as a neurobiologist, but determined to have a research career. So Ian, all on his own, got space, got equipment, and pursued his own wishes. He has, without question, built one of the most significant neurobiology research groups in the world. Ian, thank you. And last is our Chancellor, Richard Davidson. Richard, please. Richard has the enviable task of giving each graduate the certification that they have graduated at the University of Lethbridge. So everybody that sees you is happy on that day, aren't they? Now I'm going to ask Tommy Allen to come up to the podium and read a proclamation. I hope you have some wine and beer because you're going to want to toast. Tommy? You see Tommy is wearing a suit as he said he would. And you'll know why in just about 30 seconds. Tommy, I thought you looked really good out there dancing, man.
Thank you, Dr. K. Well, there's been several comments made about my wearing the suit and so forth from my distinguished colleague, Dr. Cade, and others. And you're going to find out tonight the reason behind the suit. When I went to the academy in 2001, I quickly realized that intellectually I was out of my depth. I could not compete with such intellectual people as Dr. Otte, Dr. Lundberg, and others. But I sure as hell could outdress them. So, first I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here and to participate in this symposium honoring Dr. Dan Otte. It's a real privilege to be here. Everyone in this room has been recognized, just about it, except the two people that I think are probably most responsible for it. And that's Dr. Cade and his wife, lovely wife, Elsa. And if we could. So now I'll get to the business that, or one of the businesses that I was sent here for. When the Academy found out that this symposium was taking place, Dr. Otte's friends and colleagues at the Academy wanted to do something also to recognize his contributions. And the President of the Academy has drafted this proclamation and asked me to read it. So, to colleagues and friends of Dan Otte, the staff, members, and Board of Trustees of the Academy of Natural Sciences of Philadelphia wish to extend their greetings and congratulations to Dan on the occasion of this celebratory symposium to honor his many extraordinary contributions in the field of entomology. During his remarkable career, 34 years of which have been spent as a distinguished member of the curatorial staff at the Academy of Natural Sciences, Dan has described over 125 new genera and more than 1,500 new species of crickets, grasshoppers, and other orthopteroid insects. He has traveled to and collected insects on every continent except Antarctica, and through this work has added thousands of new study specimens to the entomological collections at the Academy of Natural Sciences and other institutions around the world. He has vastly expanded the knowledge of insects through his many publications, including more than 300 scientific articles and books on the taxonomy, evolution, systematics, biology, and behavior of Orthoptera, and through the Journal of Orthoptera Research, which he began in 1992 and edited for its first 8 years. Dan has freely shared his encyclopedic knowledge of insects with others, as we've seen at this symposium, and has generously mentored many younger scientists in the field of this expertise. We are pleased to announce that, in recognition of his many contributions to science, later this year, Dan will be presented with the Academy's highest award for scientific excellence, the Joseph Leidy Award and Medal. Dan will be only the 24th person to receive this award since it was established in 1925. Some of the previous recipients have included William Morton Wheeler, Ernst Mayr, E.O. Wilson, and Peter and Rosemary Grant. We congratulate Dan on the occasion of this symposium in his honor and salute him for his extraordinary contributions to science. We at the Academy and in the scientific community at large look forward to many more years of collaboration and friendship with Dan as he continues his remarkable career. Sincerely yours, William Y. Brown, President, Academy of Natural Sciences, Philadelphia. Lastly, I came to be acquainted with Dan quite closely late in my life. Like some of you, I was not privileged to be one of his students or an acquaintance early. And I have discovered in the past few years there are three loves in Dan's life. Laurel, who takes first place always, crickets, orthoptera, grasshoppers, and trains. The two vacillate back and forth. And in honor of the trains, Sue, my wife, and I have bought you 100 shares of the Pennsylvania Railroad Company.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a toast to the new-to-be Leidy Medal winner, Dan Otte. That was one of the hardest secrets I ever had to keep.